young man named John. He was a good person, thoughtful and kind. And when a story came along, it was full of love and light, as Beauty and the Beast. It touched him, as it did all of us, in the deep, sweet places of his soul. He learned that dreams can be real, and that it is possible to share them. John loved to read, and like all of us, he collected the books, stories, and zines that kept the dream alive for him. In this way, he also made many faraway friends. His letters to them were always cheerful and encouraging. He never mentioned once how gravely ill he was. John Dotrice died of cancer in February. His family must now dispose of his Beauty and the Beast collection in order to help defray the enormous medical bills resulting from his final illness. Although we present them as used zine prices, these books are all in excellent condition. There are also several volume sets and some collector's items which are no longer in print anywhere. You are invited to Dream Seeker's table to look over this wonderful collection and to make your choices. Your assistance in easing the financial burden of John's family will indeed be greatly appreciated. So please do go and have a look at it, and if you're going to buy anything, buy it from John Dotrice's table if you would. Now, this is another example, which was, it was given at lunchtime. It's extraordinary. Through the eyes of innocence. These are stories by children, drawings by children, some of them very young, and quite remarkable, quite remarkable. There's one here, Voices from the Whispering Gallery, by Ronnie Brown. I've just had time to read the story. It's a quite beautiful story, full of tremendous talent. Ronnie Brown, alas, died of a brain tumor just after she'd written. But, thanks to the consent of her parents and of her friend, I'll find her name in a minute, although that really doesn't matter, keeping most names out of this, Kelly McGregor, we are able now to publish this story, and I do advise you, if you can, to buy this zine, because it is, this and many other stories from children are quite wonderful. Now, lastly, this is about the friendship quilt, another fantastic emblem of the goodness which you people have generated and emanated. The friendship quilt, as you know, is a quilt which Sally, with the cooperation of all you, has made. And whenever people are in trouble, I know you know the story, but I'm just going to reiterate it very quickly. It is sent to them, and they retain it for a few days, and because of all the kind of goodness and love that goes with this quilt, it has done people the most remarkable things. It's almost like a miracle quilt. This is a letter here from a girl who was sexually abused constantly by her father. And because of this, could never sleep. She had the most terrible nightmares whenever she tried to get to sleep. She said, I go on towards the end of this, she says, to tell the truth, the first real contentment and sleep I had experienced was beneath this magical quilt, filled with love. Also, for the first time in my life, I don't feel alone anymore. I feel protected and connected to other people by love and the hope that went into making this quilt. In closing, all I can wish is that others who will follow to receive this quilt will find peace of mind and truly know that for all of us indeed, anything is possible. On the letter right next to it, which I'd like to read you. With one thing happening after another, the past year has been a nightmare. To have had the use of this magical quilt for the past few days has meant everything to me. The last few days, before my son's surgery, I sat in my couch, wrapped in this wondrous quilt. My frazzled nerves became calm, and slept peacefully with it on my bed at night. The day of the surgery, I took the quilt to the hospital and sat holding the quilt on my lap in the surgery lounge, and was so comforted and relaxed by it that I fell asleep whilst waiting. Later, I covered my son with the quilt for about half an hour before the operation, before I had to leave the hospital and return the quilt to continue its journey of love and hope just another one of the many, many examples of this tremendous love and this wonderful thing. It's almost like a religion which you people have achieved. You impress me so much. I find myself close to tears every now and I think about you and the wonderful things you've done. I mean, people kind of would say, these stupid people that believe in this story about a man from Greece who lives in a story in New York. And so you get the connotation of you people are cranks. And if only they knew you and the love and the goodness that comes from you, they would be in for quite a shock. Now, enough of that. I think we're here for questions and answers. Do you have any questions? No, I know what I'm going to talk about. I've got verbal diarrhea there. We've all talked for years now, it seems like an eternity, about this mythical film, which I'm sure is never going to be made. You know, I'm going to be a realist about this. I don't feel we're any nearer to it now than we were 3 or 4 years ago. And the only hope we have is it was 11 years after Star Trek finished before they did Star Trek. So we've only got another 7 to go. I'll tell you what occurred to me. And I want you to give us some thought, and amongst your various groups and your fan clubs in various parts of the world, and that's another thing I want to mention, these wonderful people from the New Jersey, North New Jersey Tunnel Club, Tunnel Community, who not only came to see me like 3 times when I was playing in New York recently in the theater. We all got horribly drunk together. All these are wonderful people. Molly Toms, who runs president of my American fan club, and their granddaughter, Jackie Clark, who come all the way from England and do a marvelous job in my fan club in England. So all these wonderful people, I do thank you. But we've chatted about the fact that this film might or might not be made. Well, recently, you won't remember this because it was a long, long time ago. I can remember it. When television was gas operated, I believe. But they had a series which went on and on and on for many, many years of Robin Hood. You remember? It was in black and white. Do you remember it? And it was put with a lovely actor called Richard Green. And now the interesting thing is that they had some 150 episodes. And recently they came to me and they said, we're going to colour these first of all, because they were in black and white. But we said, we're writing a simple storyline, another Robin Hood story. And we are taking bits from every episode and piecing together a new film. Which they did. They said, now, where the story gets a bit kind of, we can't quite follow, we want you to come in and do the narration, to explain it over. Now, they have now made 3 2-hour films. They put music into it, they've done my narration into it, and out of these 150 episodes, they've got 3 2-hour films, and they give us enough material for another 20 of them. So I don't see why we couldn't attempt to do this. It really is quite simple. You have to, amongst your little clubs, get together and someone write a very simple story. Not too complicated, but you say, now wait a minute, we're going to have this scene here about drugs, what can we go in the forest of the night, pull this out of there or whatever. Whatever subject you take, or whatever the scene is about, I'm sure you can find something appropriate for that scene in 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 episodes. You pull out. The unfortunate thing is Vincent's going to be changing his clothes every other line. Now that doesn't matter. And when you want Vincent to put words in Vincent's mouth or things that are said, then you do them. If they're not in script, you do them when he's got his back to the camera. I've just been doing that. I promise you it works. So do think about that. And maybe we ought to give a kind of prize or something for someone who, in the course of the next year, produces the best Beauty and the Beast film.